Pokemon came out in 1996, the main draw being that if you see a Pokemon you like, you catch it to love and care for it. Catch and battle, and so on until you beat the game. You create a sort of a la carte team to your liking and preferences. So, I posited to myself, what if I played Pokemon without ever throwing a Pokeball for the express purposes of catching a Pokemon? So, I've drew up some rules for myself, the first being no throwing a Pokeball to catch a Pokemon. That's a given. That's literally the whole point of this stupid idea. 2, have a team of 6 Pokemon, which is to say, have a full team at the end. That's mainly because the speedrun of Pokemon Red and Blue is typically you get Squirtle, and that's really the only Pokemon you ever really use. You catch a Pidgey for Fly later and something else, and a Rattata to cut too. And that's mainly it. 3, have my Pokemon under or around the average of the gym leader, mainly because it's very easy to brute force in Pokemon. If you could just throw yourself until you've gained enough levels where you're over leveled. The grinding's part of the game in RPGs, but I didn't really want to use that within the challenge. And finally, have fun, I guess. I mean, it's Pokemon, of course I'm gonna have fun, but no real stress to do it at the end of the day. My name is picked. My rival has a funny name. And we're ready to set off on our adventure. So our journey begins with Professor Oak stopping us and going to his lab where we pick our first Pokemon. Now for this prefix menu, so to speak, we have 3 starters. The first is salad. That is a nice consistency throughout and is a nice lead into the rest of the menu. The soup du jour. It's a one note that really complements everything else that you'll get along the way potentially. Or the spicy curry. It might be a little tough to start with, but later on down the road you'll be very, very rewarded for it. What it comes down to for the 3 choices is, what do you want? Do you want something that's going to be the same typing across the board with no really variety to it? Something that's really going to grind and test you at the start and really test your patience trying to get through it to the next part? Or something that's just gonna be easy for the first 2 batches and then you'll be easily and nicely along your way. Pick whatever you want. It's your life at the end of the day. I picked Bulbasaur. I like Bulbasaur. He's a good boy. So, nothing wrong with that. So we take on our rival in a somewhat easy battle, and then we're on our way to Pewter City to take on Brock, who is a cakewalk thanks to our good boy. So once we make it to Mount Moon, we have our chance to get another friend, another dish on our prefix. This one's an optional one. It is the carp sashimi. It is very rewarding if you have the patience to deal with. So you have a choice to pick up a Magikarp. For 500 bones, it's very affordable, especially this early on when you're not really wasting money on Pokeballs anymore either. The old Fire Red Pokemon guide used to say, the smart trainer would not take that deal, but the smarter trainer takes that deal. And we are out of Mount Moon with another choice in front of us. Is the fossil Pokemon. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm not really gonna go into them because it's not really important what I'm picking. So we are in Cerulean, which means a rival battle, which is nice and easy. And then thanks to our candy, our patience is rewarded with a Gyarados before we even take on Misty. And so we're about a level short of taking on Misty, but our Gyarados and Ivysaur make quick work for it anyways. And we take our way down to Vermilion City so we can go on the SSN, which means, yes, another rival battle. And then we take on Surge, who, despite us not having any kind of typing advantage, we are able to deal with him in short fashion. Through Rock Tunnel, and we're at Celadon, where we can get a new friend, the Evolutions. Oh man, this menu prefix bit's really coming off the rails. A bold fire dish or something that's going to zap your tongue. I really don't know how to describe these two as a dish. Man, I thought this was going to be funnier at the start. But anyways, it's between a Vaporeon, a Flareon, or a Jolteon. Vaporeon, also another water type. You already have one. You picked Blastoise. You already have another one. If you're going to go with the fossil Pokemon, you already have a water type. So really, it's very redundant to have one. Flareon and Jolteon fit in the same mold. They're two typings you won't get in this kind of run-through that you're doing. And so it kind of comes down to what do you think is going to be more of a problem, something that fire can cover or something that electricity can cover. I opted for Flareon because I feel like it will be able to cover a lot more later on. And even before we get on with Flareon and onto the next order of business, we throw our money away at the Celadon Game Corner to where we can get a Dratini. The menu thing also doesn't really fit for this, I'm sorry. You really just get to rub it in your friend's face that how rich and posh you are to have a dragon Pokemon. The other two choices are Scyther and Porygon. You'd be spending a lot of time in the game corner just trying to get the coins to get those Pokemon, whereas for Dratini, you could probably throw all your money away and get it, which is what I opted to do. Having a dragon type is very nice, especially in the early games when there isn't a lot that can deal with it. So with our two new friends, we have our first foray with Giovanni, and then we waltz on over to handle Erica nice and easy. We are halfway home. A pit stop back in Lavender Town, just so we can take on our rival, and also pick up the Self Scope. And we're down in Fuchsia City for a actually tough gym battle, because I'm very underleveled and don't have anything to cover, but we handle it all the same. And then we head up to Celadon City for the fake gym, and a choice between two Pokemon. You can have a nice dish that'll have a wide variety of flavors. Ooh, exotic flavors. How can a dish be cold and hot, but also have a little zap on your tongue? Or you can have something that's just bold and in your face. You know exactly what you're getting and you're not disappointed in it. Despite having a lot of elemental moves, unfortunately this is pre-ability Pokemon, which means Hitmonchan's punches don't really do that much. Hitmonlee, on the other hand, is a big boy, big beef tank that's going to kick and hit people hard. So that's what I went with. It rules. But before we can even take on the gym, we must first deal with our rival, who is still the same old, very easy to take on if you have matchups, and Giovanni, who is also easy to deal with because I have generally a typing advantage. And we get a nice free Pokemon. It leaves us with a choice, non-food related. Do you want to replace your water type that you already have, or do you want to use the new Lapras that you're getting? Personally, for me, really, is it, do you want to be a loyal boy to your boy, Gyarados, or do you want to do something that's a little new and fresh? I opted to use Lapras, mainly because I've never used the Lapras in any run of Pokemon I've ever played in my life, so decided to switch it up a bit. And on top of that, Lapras can also use Ice Beam, which will be nice and easy for the Elite Four along the way. Sorry, bud. Should have had Ice Beam. Sabrina is dealt with, and we only have 2 badges left to go. Before we finish that, we're off to get my friend Aerodactyl, who can fly and be a fast boy. I decided to use it because, like Lapras, I've never used the one, or any fossil Pokemon for that matter. Now that we are full of Pokemon, we can take on Cinnabar easily and head straight to Viridian to deal with Giovanni for the last time. Before Victory Road, we deal with our rival for the last time. Once at the Elite Four, all of my Pokemon are at level 55. In terms of where that is in the Elite Four, I'm at where Agatha is, who'd be the 3rd one. Generally, they're all 54, 52. Agatha's 55, and then Lance is up there, and the song's the rival battle at the end. So I'm not overpowered, but I'm not underpowered as well. I could do it if I play smart, which is what we end up doing. Lorelei is very easy to deal with matchups, especially with a fighting type and a fire type. We make short work of her. Bruno, with a combination of Fly and Venusaur, we can take on his 2 typings of Pokemon. We go on to Agatha, who is actually a bit of a challenge, mainly because we don't have a lot of moves that can really effectively deal with her, until I realized that Lapras has Psychic, which makes the fight easier than I thought it was going to be. Lance isn't that hard. He's mainly has Flying and Dragon, and that's why we have Lapras, so Ice Beam can handle everything for us. But what's this? Shock and awe? We still have one more fight to do, and it's our rival. It's an easy fight. We are underleveled for it, but because of just matchups and in general being smarter than I was when I was a kid, this fight makes it nice and easy. I thought it'd be a funny bit to have one Pokemon take on one of his own Pokemon. I messed up and forgot what was on his team, and one of my Pokemon fainted, so I had to scrap that idea. and really hope that I could deal with his Alakazam in short order, because that was the only thing that was really threatening on his team. And with that, the challenge is done. We get a Pokedex reading right at the end. By my count, I should be at 13 Pokemon. You figure 3 for the starter, 2 for Magikarp, 2 for Eevee, Lapras, Aerodactyl. That puts us at 9. 3 for the Dratini, and then you have Hitmonlee, which puts us at 13. And what do you know? My math checks out. We're at 13. He thinks I have a ton of work to do and I need to go seize 8 to pick up Flash, even though I've beaten the game. I know what you're thinking. Did I learn a lesson in this little challenge? Absolutely not. What lesson am I going to learn? I've played this game hundreds of times. Even as a kid, I struggled, but I still managed to beat it. Really, what this was at the end of the day was just playing the matchup game, which is what Pokemon is at the end of the day. What a waste of my time.